Right, so here we are on the world map, finally gotten out of Midgar, and what I will be doing with this is I'll probably cut out a lot of the world map stuff, because you don't need to see me level grinding all the time. It's probably not too much of a problem at this particular area because it's quite a small area, and there's very specific things that you do, but once we get on the other side of the mountain, certainly I'll just cut out a lot of that. You do not need to see me level grinding. And sometimes getting Yuffie is a bit of a pain in the arse as well. Oh, I forgot to give Ares materia. Great, let's watch her do her crappy little attack. But you know, sometimes getting Yuffie is a bit of a pain in the arse. Sometimes you have to do a few fights before you can actually get her. Oh, I should have sorted out the materia. I give, there we go. Da, 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 da. Right, so contrary to what I just said, I have just done a little bit of running around just to do some quick level grinding, and I did manage to get the Matra Magic, so Ares has now managed to dispatch several bad guys at once for the first time in this game, so that's pretty cool. So, here we are at the City of Calm, with a K. Everyone's waiting at the end. Let's go, Cloud! Now, I can do some running around and faffing about at the shops, but let's just go into the hotel. So it will be interesting to see how the backstory gets revealed in the remake. Oh my, I'm late. I'm 10 seconds behind you guys, because I think that this is perhaps one of the things that makes the game age not particularly well, is that you do just bring the gameplay, the actual playing of the game, to a complete halt for about 10-15 minutes to do a big chunk of exposition and story, and it's not quite so bad now, but certainly once we get later on in the game and you know you've got Tifa kind of seeing Cloud's memories, I think that's when it all starts to really grind to a halt and get frustrating. So it'll be interesting to see how they actually how they take that approach, but whether they'll change it much or whether they'll try to sort of modernise the telling of the story a bit more. That'll be interesting. Ah yes, let's talk about Sephiroth and the crisis of the planet. Let's hear it all. Oof. That's not what you want to say in a Final Fantasy game. Let's tell me the entire story. I used to want to be like Sephiroth, so I joined Soldier. After working with Sephiroth on several missions, we became friends. Call that a friend? Do you know, actually, that was something that I did like about, oh, what was it called? The PSP game, Crisis Core? Is that you did see Sephiroth before he went nuts, and he did seem to genuinely have a friendship with the other main characters in the game. So don't be so judgmental about it. Yeah, well. He was older than me and hardly ever talked about himself. How old is he, like 30? Which in like sort of computer game terminology, that's practically a grandparent. Oh, Tifa, the awkward silence. So I guess you could call us war buddies. We trusted each other until one day. Yeah, guys, you might want to sit down for this because this is going to take a while. One day? It's funny the kind of things that people do in fiction that they never do in the real world. Like, nobody ever turns their back on you to give you an exposition dump. It's something that happens in films and TV shows a lot, turning their back to everyone else in the room. After the war, it was soldiers' duty to put down any resistance against the Shinra. Oh, God. That was 5 years ago. I was 16. And presumably if he's a first class soldier, he's already been with them for quite a while, so, you know, what's the recruitment policy? Maybe the war with, oh look, Sephiroth just got his mouth permanently open, but either that or it's black lipstick. Which you actually wouldn't put, maybe you wouldn't put past Sephiroth, he's a bit goth in some ways. Maybe the war that Shinra fought was so bad, it was kind of like, you know, like in the First World War when they kind of turned a blind eye to people's age because they just wanted people to join up or sign up to the army. I always really like this effect in the windows here, the way it does look like it's wiping away very heavy rain. I thought that was really cool on sort of PlayStation 1 era games. I thought that's cool. It sure is raining hard. Trying to be a friend to the lowly soldiers. I wouldn't know. I've never had motion sickness. Yeah, see when people go out of their way to tell you things like that, oh, I wouldn't know because I've never had this problem. Yeah, they probably have and they're just trying to pretend that they haven't. Everything okay? Oh my god. Hey. Settle down. Yeah, because there's two sentences that couldn't have just gone into one speech bubble. They gave me some new materia. I can't wait to use it. Just like a kid. And yet somehow soldier first class. You going to brief us about this mission? You'd think they'd kind of do that before they left for the place, wouldn't you? This isn't a typical mission. Oh god, Cloud. Why do you say that? I joined soldier to be like you. But by the time I made first class, the war was already over. My big hope was becoming a hero like you ended with the war. Oh my god. Of course that is something the kind of thing a young person would say, isn't it? That's why I always sign up whenever there's a big mission. Kind of a way to prove myself. Oh man, somebody's got low self-esteem. Say, how do you feel, Mr. Sephiroth? So when he says, when it's capitalised, is that just to emphasise it to the to the player, or is he actually saying Mr? Like, Cloud, you're trying far too hard. I thought you wanted a briefing. Yeah. Our mission is to investigate the old Mako reactor. There have been reports of it malfunctioning, producing brutal creatures. First we will dispose of those creatures, then we'll locate the problem and neutralise it. I love the way they're just casually like, yeah, it's creating brutal creatures, you know, like it's supposed to create creatures of some kind. The Mako reactor at Nibelheim. Nibelheim? At least I think that's how you pronounce it, Nibelheim. But honestly, there's a lot of stuff in this game that it turns out I was pronouncing it wrong for years. And watching Advent Children was a bit of a surprise in some ways. Hometown. Something strange just crashed into the truck. I love the way this driver has just turned 180 degrees round in his chair. That would be our monster. Oh, cue the creepy music. So where's my materia? Oh, come on, it's just Gorbash. He wants to play. Oh, boom. Of course, at this point in the game, striking something and knocking 3000 HP out of it is pretty damn badass. Sephiroth's strength is incredible. He's far stronger in reality than any stories you may have heard about him. So, where do you come in? Ah yes, because it's not like he's been in this story from the get-go here. Just pay attention. Me? I was mesmerised by the way Sephiroth fought. Ah, Tifa, speak up. And then we reached Nibelheim. How does it feel? It's your first time back to your hometown in a long time, right? Ah, Sephiroth, points off for using a word twice in one sentence. Tut tut tut. So how does it feel? I wouldn't know because I don't have a hometown. Dude, home is where your heart is. How about your parents? Yeah, my mother is Genova. She died right after she gave birth to me. My father, ... Now, of course, with these old sprites, you can't tell whether they're laughing or having a fit. We'll just go for evil manic laughter. What does it matter? Of course, it is implied. Oh no, actually, I think they outright say it, don't they? That the Hojo is his father, and Lucrezia is his mother, really. Alright, let's go. Because I do remember that really it's up for debate as to whether Genova is really just manipulating him. And whether he's actually a sympathetic bad guy, but you know, I can't remember in detail. I guess we'll get there eventually. You know, Mako smells pretty bad here. I wonder what Mako smells like. Farts. We'll just say it smells like farts. Now that'll influence how we see the rest of the game. Yo, wait a minute. Isn't that I do like this kind of things, the way it's like sort of responding within the memory. That's kind of cool. The name of Sephiroth's mother. I remember Genova. That's that damn headless spook living in the Shinra building. That's right. Barrett, would you please let us hear what Cloud has to say? You can ask questions later. So in other words, sit down and shut up. T5 is only... Okay, Cloud, continue. The childhood friends reunite. I was really surprised to see Tifa. The town was quiet. Everyone must be in their houses afraid to come out because of the monsters. No, maybe they were afraid of us. Oh, deep, Cloud, really deep. We'll leave for the reactor at dawn. Make sure you get to sleep early. Oh, you see the way this pacing is just so slow here? All we need is one lookout, so you others get some rest. Oh, and you may visit your family and friends. Haha. I heard Sephiroth was coming, so I brought my camera. I want a shot of Sephiroth and a monster. Take my picture, go back in the house and stage. Take my picture. I don't take pictures of nobodies. Oh, boom, burn. Somebody fetch me the aloe vera. I just got burned. I suppose everybody's gonna get burned shortly. Oh, spoilers! I always thought this was a really nice house with the wooden floors and then the stone fireplace. It's got nothing to do with what happened 5 years ago. Anyway, I want to hear. Me too, it's been a long time, right? Oh yes, this isn't at all a painful memory. Tell us more. You saw your family, right? Don't want to talk about it. Alright. I don't know if you call it a family. My father died when I was still young and my mother doesn't count. You may as well say that. Yeah, I saw my mom. She was a vibrant woman, hadn't changed at all, but I don't see her as family, because you wouldn't really call it a family. But a few days later, she died. And of course, I mean, this game did come out 20 years ago, and how you would define a family 20 years ago has changed a lot. I mean, you know, we are more... Yes? Ah, she doesn't recognise her own son. Well, I guess this isn't a family then. Welcome home, Cloud. Hi, Mom. Cool, let me take a look at you. You look so handsome. So this is a soldier uniform, and I still don't know why they capitalised soldier, whether it's just to make it stand out or whether that ever actually stood for something. Although, why is it that everybody in the world of Final Fantasy has one bedroom houses? Have you noticed that? Like the living room and the kitchen and the bedroom are all in the same room pretty much for most of these houses. I bet the girls never leave you alone. Ah yes, the mother worrying about. Better if you settled down with a nice girlfriend like Tifa. She's nice. I mean, she probably fights monsters and she knows kung fu and stuff, but you know. You should have an older girlfriend, one that will take care of you. I think that would be best for you. You're such a fragile little boy. Are you eating right? The company takes care of me. Yes, I'm sure they do. Is that so? I know you can't cook. I'm worried sick about you. Again, I do quite like this touch of just seeing snatches of the memories. I'll always be your mother. Oh God. You know, instead of just seeing a whole thing play out, you sort of get snatches of a much larger conversation. I wonder if maybe they'll play around with that idea a bit more in the remake. Let's stop this. I mean, I do hope that the remake isn't just a straightforward copy, that they actually do take a bit of creative license with it just to update it. I hope they don't fuck around with the combat too much, because there has been this Sure, we're here to get rid of the monsters. And who are you? Zangan. I travel around the world teaching children martial arts. Yes, I'm sure there's people in the world of Final Fantasy VII who travel the world to teach martial arts. And you can leap through the air. I have 128 students all over the world. That's pretty terrible. In this town, a girl named Tifa is my student. Oh, so he's got one student per town. And he's got a red cape. Did you say Tifa? Dun dun dun. Tifa has good sense. She'll be a powerful fighter. Well, by the end of the game, absolutely. Right, so I think I'll just... chat with Sephiroth first? What are you looking at? The scenery. I feel like I know this place. We have an early start tomorrow. You should get some sleep. Yeah, let's get some sleep. I hired a guide to take us to the Mako reactor. I've heard she's young. I hope we can rely on her. I wonder who that might be. Well, once the guide gets here, we're heading out. Listen to me, Sephiroth, in case something happens. Trust me, no. I'll be alright, Dad. Oh, that's her father? He's such a young, sprightly looking thing. I have 2 men from Soldier with me. I'm Tifa, nice to meet you. Tifa? You're the guide? That's right. It so happens I'm the #1 guide in this town. They rank the guides. It's too dangerous, I can't get you involved in this. Oh. There's no problem if you protect her. Yes, because we've just established 30 seconds ago that Tifa's quite a promising fighter, but she still needs the man to protect her. Mr. Sephiroth, please let me take this picture for a memento. Tifa, can you ask him for me too? Oh, come on, dude. Don't be a stick in the mud. Cheese! Oh, God, it's so cheesy. Oh, I guess it is. Great, thank you. I'll give each of you a copy once I get it developed. A Mako reactor was built at Mount Nebo. Anyway, did we not see the actual picture? I'm sure there was a bit right there where we got to see the actual picture. The cold mountain air of Mount Nebo was the same. Oh man, I thought stuff like that was so cool. Gets harder from here, follow me. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, because Sephiroth's already halfway across the bridge. The bridge! Oh, I think I hate this plan. Oh! Oh, we've lost one of our guys. Everyone seems to be alright. Will we be able to get back? These caves are intertwined like an ant farm. On Sephiroth, one person seems to be missing. See, now this is interesting. Sephiroth says, it may sound cruel, but we have no time to search for him. We can't go back, so we must go on. We'll travel together from here. It may sound cruel. You know, it's just a pass-away line, but I think even that just gives you some idea of Sephiroth as a person before he goes Doolally, basically. He's not necessarily a bad person beforehand. Probably a bit cold and detached because he's a soldier, but, you know, like I said, I like the stuff in Crisis Core when you see him interacting with the other main characters and they do appear to be friends, even if he is a little bit emotionally detached. So, yeah. No, 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 no! You know, I need to do shit all here. I do. It was quite a nice tease, actually. Kind of seeing the future of where your materia was going to go. Playing it for the first time, that was kind of cool. I know I kind of make fun of the idea that everybody kind of runs inside of Cloud, but I guess it kind of works. You know, in Final Fantasy VIII, when they're all kind of running behind each other and this kind of sort of cloning each other's movements, it's kind of weird. So maybe this way of doing it actually works better. A mysteriously coloured cave. It must be the Mako energy. This mountain is especially abundant in it. This mountain is especially abundant in it. I don't think that's quite right. That's why the Mako reactor was built here. I think, if I remember correctly, there's... Oh, I'm sure there was something in there. Maybe not. Oh, there has to be. I have to go back and check that, because there's the other exit there. No? Ah, oh, maybe not. Oh well, we'll just leave. That is what you would call overkill. You would think both of those swords would be grossly impractical, wouldn't you? Alright, let's just... Of course, it's not like I can pick up anything in this anyway, it's a flashback. Oh, this is lovely. What's this? A Mako fountain. It's a miracle of nature. Oh, it's so beautiful. If the Mako reactor continues to suck up the energy, the fountain will dry up too. Oh dear, yes, when you get up quite close to the sprites, they look pretty terrible. Materia. When you condense Mako energy, materia is produced. It's very rare to see materia in its natural state. By the way, why is it that when you use materia you can also use magic too? You were a soldier and you didn't even know that? The knowledge and wisdom of the ancients is held in the materia, and that's why you can shoot lightning bolts. Anyone with this knowledge can freely use the powers of the land and the planet. That knowledge interacts between ourselves and the planet, calling up magic, or so they say. Anyone with this knowledge can freely use the powers of the land and the planet. That knowledge interacts between ourselves and the planet, calling up magic, or so they say. Okay, Sephiroth, I think you're talking out your arse here. Magic, a mysterious power. Oh please, even Tifa's laughing at that one, Cloud, you moron. Did I say something funny? A man once told me never to use unscientific terms like mysterious power. It should be called magic. Tifa, are you okay there? I think she's fainted. I still remember how angry he was. Who was that? Hoja of Shinra Inc., an inexperienced man assisted to take over the work of a great scientist. Daddy issues. was a walking mass of complexes. A Mako fountain. So this is where the knowledge of the ancients is. Oops, missed. See, it's stuff like this here that really just aids the kind of scale of the game. You know, just having still backgrounds just allows you to create some pretty impressive stuff in a way that you didn't see with, you know, a lot of other games of this area that were really trying to do the 3D environment thing. We finally made it. We sure took a long way though. Tifa, you wait here. I'm going inside too, I want to see. Nah, I don't think so, lady. Only authorized people are allowed in. This place is full of Shinra industrial secrets. But take care of the lady. Yeah, because Tifa needs some random guard to look after her. Better take real good care of me then. Oh god damn it. I still can't get over the idea that this is the official proper way that you get into a Mako reactor. Oh, by climbing down some chains. I don't imagine President Shinra ever paid much of a visit to these Mako thingies. If that's how you actually got into them, I can't imagine he was the kind of person to do that. This is Genova, right? It won't open. I seem to remember reading at one point that Genova actually means something, or it comes from some other culture somewhere. I can't quite remember though. This is the reason for the malfunction. This part is broken. Cloud, close the valve. Yeah, because he can't be bothered kneeling down and doing it himself. Lazy git. Why did it break? Dude, it was the one on the left. Now I see Hojo, but doing this won't put you on the same level as Professor Gast. This is a system of that condenses and freezes the Mako energy, that is, when it's working correctly. That condenses and freezes the Mako energy. Now what does Mako energy become when it's further condensed? Materia. Right, normally, but Hojo put something else in there. Take a look. Oh, come on, Cloud. Ah, look through the window. Oh, snap. Talk about only a face a mother could love. Normal members of Soldier are humans that have been showered with Mako, hence the eyes. You're different from the others, but still human. But what are they? They've been exposed to far higher degrees of Mako than you. Is this some kind of monster? Exactly, and it's Hojo of Shinra that produces these monsters. Mutated living organisms produced by Mako energy. That's what these monsters really are. Normal members of Soldier? You mean you're different? Oh, Cloud. I mean, I don't know where he actually got that from, because technically Sephiroth is talking about the monsters, but, you know, he says, you mean you're different? There you go, there is the two sentences that send Sephiroth completely doolally. Well done, Cloud, take a pat in the back for that one. Hey, Sephiroth? Although, well, we'll get back to it, but it's not really Cloud, is it? Was I... ... Was I created this way too? Am I the same as these monsters? You saw it, all of them were humans. Human? No way! Oh, Cloud, you're not helping the matter any. Ever since I was small, I felt that I was different from the others, special in some way. Well, we all go through that phase of feeling different from everyone else, but not like this. Actually, it's kind of like a really good Star Trek monster or alien. You know, not like those crappy forehead of the week ones, but you know, like the Jem'Hadar. That's kind of what it's reminding me of. I was even more surprised that Shinra were producing monsters. Seriously? Have you not realised who you're working for by this point? Damn Shinra, the more I hear, the more I hate them. Who would have ever thought the Mako reactor held such a secret? That would seem to explain the increasing number of monsters recently. Oh, so it hasn't just been a case that you walk outside the city and, you know, you're confronted with all these monsters. Huh. I think we should listen carefully to Cloud, don't you think so, Barrett? Oh yes, let's do save the game. I'll never pass up an opportunity to save. Yeah, maybe so. I want to take a breather here. I get it. You what? Tifa, you were waiting outside then? Yes. We returned to Nibelheim. Sephiroth confined himself to the inn. He didn't even try to talk to me. Why would he talk to you? Then all of a sudden he just disappeared, right? We found him inside the biggest building in Nibelheim. The villagers used to call it the Shinra Mansion. Long ago, people from Shinra used to live in that mansion. Yeah, you can do quite a bit of exploring of this mansion, but it really doesn't seem to be any point to it. I think it's really just once we actually come back and get Vincent that all that helps. Ah, spiral staircase, no banister, so cling to the wall, and there does seem to be some wooden steps missing. I do quite like the colour scheme here with the purples of the cave. apparently dead organism was found in a 2,000-year-old geological stratum. Professor Gass named the organism Genova. X year, X month, X day. The year is 20XX. Genova confirmed to be an ancient. X year, X by X day. Genova project approved. The use of Mako reactor #1 approved for use. Right, so the Mako reactors were constructed after Genova was found. Do you know, technically Sephiroth's supposed to be wearing a cloak and it's just like sort of limited graphics at the time, but it actually does look like he's wearing culottes. I believe that's what they were called. They were these hideous, like sort of baggy trousers that women and girls wore in the 90s, and it was supposed to kind of look like a dress, but it was really trousers and they were horrifying. My mother's name is Genova. Genova Project. Is it just a coincidence? Professor Gass, why didn't you tell me anything? Why did you die? Didn't Hojo kill him? or have I just pulled that out my arse? I can't remember. Let me be alone. Oh, emo Sephiroth. Sephiroth didn't come out of the Shinra mansion. He continued to read as if he was possessed by something, and not once did the light in the basement go out. I genuinely found this very, very creepy as a child playing this for the first time. You know, there's something to be really said for just having a little bit of ominous music come in. You know, this is I know we're new to the Shinra Mansion, but we've been in it a few minutes. We're familiar with it. You know, like we're not seeing any settings we haven't already seen, but you just bring some creepy music in underneath all of this, and you start to feel something's changed. Something bad is about to happen. Manic laughter. Who is it? Traitor. Traitor? You ignorant traitor, I'll tell you. This planet originally belonged to the Cetra. Cetra was an itinerant? I'm sorry, what? Itinerant race. Okay, I think I've just learned a new word despite the fact I've played this game multiple times. I must Google it. They would migrate and settle the planet, then move on. Right. So it didn't originally belong to them. If they just came and settled on it, or whatever. At the end of their hard, long journey, it was said they would find the promised land and supreme happiness. So it could be that the promised land isn't even on this planet. But those who disliked journeying appeared. They stopped their migrations, built shelters, and elected to lead an easier life. They took that which the Cetra and the planet had made without giving back one whit in return. They took that which the Cetra and the planet had made without giving back one whit in return. Oh man, there's something to be said for actually saying this dialogue out loud. So suddenly a lot of it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. Those are your ancestors. So basically the Cetra and the human are the same people. The humans are just Cetra who couldn't be arsed travelling, wanted to actually settle down. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Long ago, disaster struck the planet. Your ancestors escaped. They survived because they hid. The planet was saved by sacrificing the Cetra. After that, your ancestors continued to multiply. Now all that's left of the Cetra is in these reports. What does that have to do with you? Cloud, this is all your fault. Don't you see? An ancient named Genova was found in a 2,000-year-old geological stratum. The Genova Project. The Genova Project wanted to produce people with the power of the ancients, but etc. I am what was produced. Dun dun dun. Yes, Professor Gas, leader of the Genova Project and genius scientist, produced me. How did he? Notice Cloud was technically facing away from Sephiroth when he said that. Sephiroth! Oh, silence. Out of my way. I'm going to see my mother. Oh, creepy dramatic music. Again, sort of slowing everything down, having to go all the way back here, through the caves, up the stairs again. I guess in this particular instance it does actually work, because you want a bit of a delay between Sephiroth leaving and Cloud getting out of the mansion. It does actually work in this case. Oh. You're still saying right? Oh god, things are bad when you have to ask somebody that. Come over here and help me. I'll check this house, you check that one over there. Oh yes, let's check on her mother, see how she's doing. Oh damn. You genuinely do feel for Cloud in this moment. Everything's turned to shit. I mean, it's his fault, but everything's turned to shit. Terrible. Sephiroth, this is too terrible. So there's the scales of terrible. Oh, it's not enough to burn people to death. Oh, that went right through. Oh, yes. I thought this was the coolest fucking thing I'd ever seen in my life when I was 15 years old. Oh, man. Oh, every time I see it, I always just remember the thrill of seeing that for the first time. The dude walked through flames. I mean, you can't get any cooler than that. But yeah, when he was bringing that sword down, it went right down the middle of somebody's head. I wonder if the violence will get more. Well, that was weird. Another piece of music came in just for an instant. But I wonder if the violence will be more graphic in the remake. Again, climbing down chains. There's got to be a front door to this place. Oh, here we are. Papa. Sephiroth? Sephiroth, did Sephiroth do this to you? Well, I wonder who else had that big huge sword. I wonder why he dropped his sword actually. Sephiroth, Soldier, Mako Reactor, Shinra. I hate them all. Damn. Oh, nice sort of 60s Star Trek of sound effects in the background. How could you do that to Papa and the townspeople? Oh! Oh! So, for once that's not my computer crapping out, that is actually in slow motion. Tifa should be a goner. I remember even she brings that up. She should have been killed. You promised that you'd come when I was in trouble. It's amazing she actually survives, considering that bridge is out and the effort it takes to get to the reactor. Just hit her with a phoenix down, she'll be fine. Oh, don't we have to... You promise... Oh, yes, yes, yes. There is some pretty cool visuals here. There's something sort of angelic and yet terrible at the same time. Let's take back the planet together. I've thought of a great idea. Let's go to the promised land. I've got an idea. Let's go to the promised land. Sephiroth, my family, my hometown, how could you do this to them? They've come again, Mother. Their superior power, knowledge and magic, Mother was destined to become the ruler of this planet. Oh, God, there's something about Norman Bates about this. But those worthless creatures, they're stealing the planet from Mother. But now I'm here with you. So don't worry. They'll know and they'll say, why, she wouldn't harm a fly. She does have an eye for a nipple. And what about my sadness, my family, friends? You've not got any friends, Cloud. The sadness of having my hometown taken away from me. It's the same as your sadness. But some sadnesses are more equal than others, Cloud. My sadness? What do I have to be sad about? I'm the chosen one. I've been chosen to be the leader of this planet. Oh my God. Yeah, he has definitely gone crackers. I have orders to take the planet back from the stupid people from the I have orders to take the planet back from you stupid people for the Cetra. I could have constructed that sentence better. What should I be sad about? Sephiroth, I've trusted you. No, you're not the Sephiroth I used to know. That's the end of my story. Wait a minute, that's it? No more? I don't remember. What happened to Sephiroth? In terms of skill, I couldn't have killed him. Official records state Sephiroth is dead. I read it in the newspaper. Shinra owns the newspaper, so you can't rely on that. I want to know the truth. I want to know what happened. I challenged Sephiroth and lived. Why didn't he kill me? Yes, well, obviously there's more to this story than meets the eye. I'm alive too. A lot of this doesn't make sense. What about Genova? It was in the Shinra building, right? Shinra shipped it from Nibelheim to Midgar. Did someone carry it out later? It was missing from the Shinra building. Sephiroth. Oh, you said it, Barrett. None of this makes any sense. I'm going. And I'm leaving and thinking to you. I'm leaving and thinking to you? Let's get a move on. Right. Come on, let's go. Oh, brother. I think no matter what option you choose, Cloud has the same response. Cloud, how bad was I after Sephiroth stabbed me? I think he slashed you, actually, right down the middle. I thought you were a goner. I was so sad. The ancients, Cetra, Genova, Sephiroth and myself. Let's go, Barrett's waiting. What a fascinating story. PHS. Now I never actually knew what PHS stood for. Phone home service? I don't know.